Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or you're just happy to see me?
Hello, everybody. Welcome for another solo outing. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it next week. It's going to be pretty much hit and miss with the schedule of renovations that's going on. Happening this, like, at least beginning next week in my parents' place. So probably not going to be able to do an afternoon stream next Friday. Might not even be able to do a gaming stream, but we'll see. We'll see. It depends on when the workers essentially leave. So I don't know. Because it might get loud. It might get a little bit loud. So that's why I said I'm not sure entirely. But I won't know until this coming week. When they'd be getting here and how long they expect to be and all that. So, but anyway, thank you for hanging out with me for another, like I said, solo stream. I usually go for about an hour, maybe a bit shorter, maybe a bit longer. Depends on what the news is to talk about. And there was quite a bit to sift through. So I narrowed it down to 3 topics. I always generally narrow it down to 3 topics. One of which, thank you, Gravy, for tagging me in this shit. But apparently got some pictures from the live action version of the Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs, but they're not dwarves. Well, at least they're not all dwarves. Because remember, I don't know if anybody remembers last year when Peter Dinklage complained, bitched, had a sook, as Mazza likes to say, about how it's stereotypical, it's like wrong to cast dwarves. And then Hornswoggle, for those who follow wrestling, like he came out and actually derided Peter Dinklage over that, pretty much, because you're taking jobs away from us, and that's ultimately what ended up what happened. And so we got pictures. And this is what surprised me. This is on the Daily Mail, which is like notoriously left-leaning. Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions, like question mark, like that's what it looks like. Politically correct companions, pretty much. All right, I'm gonna give my thoughts on that when we go into the article, and then I have 201 bounding into comics. You have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mayhem shit from Seth Rogen, which looks like absolute trash. But apparently there's a clip involving Splinter that depicts him as an anti-human bigot. Yes. Good job. Pretty much. Like the complete antithesis to what Splinter is supposed to be in terms of character. Complete antithesis. So thank you, Seth Rogen. You pretty much a talentless hack. Unless he's part of an ensemble film, he is a talentless hack. And then finally, this gem about the Barbie movie coming from Simu Liu, all right, who starred in I can't even remember what that fucking character is called now. The one who claimed he was the one Marvel MCU film that broke another glass ceiling for Asian stars, pretty much. But anyway, he's come out and unironically said that the Barbie film puts the final nail in the coffin of that very heteronormative idea of what gender is. Pretty much. Of what gender is. Yes, very unironically coming from him. Yeah, Shang-Chi. Thank you, Gravy. Shang-Chi. I was blanking on the name. I didn't see the movie, didn't bother seeing the movie. But because it looked like absolute trash, and at that point I had checked out of the MCU anyway. So, but anyway, I'm gonna say hello to the chat, and those are the topics. And if I have time, there's I want to show you guys. This is at least some positive. Looks like some positive news, and that is the title and monster design for Godzilla, the new film from Toho, was revealed in a new teaser. So I kind of want to cover that a little bit at the end, but I'm saving that for the end to kind of end on a positive note for this down and nerdy stream. But anyway, so from the top, I see Sunny and Brave Megatron. First, Splinter looks like a hairy nutsack. Well, he kind of does, and he looks like he has a fro. He looks like he has a fro. Hold on, I gotta see this. Okay. Anyway, so it looks like he has a fro, and it looks horrible. Gravy, I was not late because you were about 20 minutes early, but good to see you. Hello, Trey. Good to see you. Finally can catch one. I'm ready for the cringe. Well, hopefully you are ready. He looks like he has a fro at one point in the trailer, pretty much. It just looks bad. It just looks bad. Like, you know, not like a complete fro. You'll see in the picture. You'll see in the picture. Jaluk, good to see you. What's up? Gigawatt, Snow White, and the Not Dwarfs. Yes, pretty much. This is my Twitch. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Gravy. Thank you for tagging me in that shit. Remember, we also had an Optimus Prime that hates humans in Rise of the Beast. Yes. Complete antithesis to his character. Otherwise, why is he even bothering saving humanity? It does not make any sense of fucking all. Hello, Gaming. Good to see you. Wasn't even actual Shang-Chi. Yeah, I'm saying it exactly. It wasn't even... I don't know that much about the character, but I watched the trailer and I was like, this does not feel like Shang-Chi. I'm not planning on it. I'm not planning on it. Yes, the Hellboy trailer... The Hellboy trailer did look pretty damn good. I'm actually kind of... My interest is very much piqued with that game. It's a Dark Horse, very Dark Horse-esque illustration, like animation. So yeah. Okay. Sorry. My mom's responding to something. Just woke up. Yes. Hope you're well. I hope you're well too, Stig. Doing fine this Friday. So going live now so I can relax later on this evening. This is my main channel. Thank you. Yeah, pretty much everywhere. His name is based off optimism. Literally, Optimus. I know I saw that, but I've checked out Star Wars enough that even though it's cringe, I'm pretty much not talking about it. It's dead. Like, Star Wars is dead to me. I wish I wasn't saying that. Given my name, literally Jade Shadow, which is Star Wars related, because I picked that name when I still very much loved Star Wars, but it's stupid. Can they stop making our father figure characters into assholes? Well, apparently not, Megatron. Apparently not. But anyway, let's look at the politically correct dwarves first. So I'm probably not going to go into the Daily Mail articles are notoriously long, so I'm not going to go into the entire thing. But I just want to show you the picture and kind of a sum up like what exactly transpired for those who do not know, which is why we get this shit now, pretty much. So yeah, I'm actually, like I said, kind of surprised at this title because it's Daily Mail. Is Daily Mail. So exclusive. Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions. First pictures of new Disney live-action remake show princess walking with diverse band of merry men and women after row overusing dwarf actors. Yes, the row that was caused by Peter Dinklage for reasons. Stupid reasons, but... And then he was subsequently taken to task by Hornswoggle, but because of the uproar and so forth at the casting, this is the shit that we're going to get. Hey, Soul. Yes. Now, there is only one movie, like Snow White film, where I've given this at all remotely a pass. And that's because the film itself doesn't pretend to be like any type of faithful adaptation of the fairy tale or a remake of sorts of the Disney animated film, and that is Snow White Tale of Terror. Objectively, it's a decent film. All right, if you have not seen it, I would recommend you checking it out at least once because it is a take on the Snow White story. All right, so it's like, obviously Snow White, Tale of Terror, right? So it is a take on the Snow White fairy tale, and in that, the dwarf characters, quotes, are 7 outcasts. But like I said, I don't mind that. In fact, it works for the film because it does not pretend to be a faithful adaptation of the fairy tale itself, right? So in this case, it works. It works because it is its own thing. It's its own story. Yes, as Sigourney Weaver plays the evil queen, and so forth. It's from like the earliest 90s. So I'm not sure how easy it will be to find necessarily, but yeah, if you have not watched it, give it a go. Give it a go. It's a decent film. It's a decent take on the fairy tale itself. But that's the only time that I've ever had no problem with that decision, just because of the fact, 1997. Like I knew it was like mid 90s, but I couldn't remember the exact year. So it's been about 26 years. 26 years. But it was its own story, essentially. It didn't pretend to be anything but what the film was. It also stars Sam Neill. He plays Snow White's father and so forth. So, like, check that out. But anyway, so we have this. I'm just going to go into this a little bit. So hi-ho, it's off to the job center they go, for the 7 dwarves have been replaced by, quote, magical creatures for Disney's live-action remake of Snow White. Can you believe this shit? Yeah, I'm saying, like, it's not like it's not like a major motion picture or anything like that. It very much does have that very independent studio made for, like, primarily made for TV or movie channel type film, but it's still decent. It's still a decent watch. Hello, Sultan. Good to see you. All right, Rachel Ziegler, who plays the fictional princess, has been pictured for the first time with her new companions, who appear to be a mix of genders, ethnicities, and heights. The actress, wearing Snow White's famous yellow and blue dress and a red cape, is trailed by the group, who are dressed in brightly colored clothes and carrying work tools. They were spotted shooting scenes in Bedfordshire on Thursday in pictures obtained exclusively by Daily Mail Online. Hey, Teresa, get ready for some shit. And why is the Evil Queen hotter than Snow White? I'm not saying that the Evil Queen necessarily has to be ugly, but Snow White is supposed to be the most beautiful in the land. That's why the Queen is jealous of her. But when you compare Rachel Ziegler to Gal Gadot, I'm like, what the fuck? So Disney announced that magical creatures would replace the 7 dwarfs to avoid reinforcing stereotypes after Game of Thrones actor Peter Dinklage bitched the fucking backwards story last year. It's a fairy tale. He literally bitched about a movie that would have gotten his kind work. I'm not trying to say that disparagingly. I'm like literally saying it would have gotten 7 little people cast. He literally took jobs away from people when he did this, because Disney doesn't want to offend anybody, decided to, well, we're not going to reinforce stereotypes, even though it's literally the fairy tale. Snow White and the 7 dwarves, pretty much. The dwarves themselves aren't humans. They're not humans. They're not little people. They are dwarves. They are a different race from humans. So there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. They are not supposed to be humans. Hence the name. It's not Snow White and the 7 little people. It's Snow White and the 7 dwarves. Hey, Bryce Day. Yeah, and the stunt doubles and the stand-ins they would have hired. They literally took away at least 7 acting roles, and then you have the stand-ins and stunt doubles, which would, like, let's say they got 2 of each. All right, it's like 3 times 7, 21. Took away 21 jobs, at least. If I'm just throwing a number out there, pretty much. Took away those jobs from these people. So yeah. So I was a little taken aback when Disney were very proud to cast a Latina actress as Snow White, but you're still telling the story of Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Not dwarfs, dwarves. Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Again, they are not little people. They're not little people. They're not human. He told Mark Marone's WTF podcast. It makes no sense to me. You're progressive in one way, and you're still making that fucking backward story about seven dwarves. Dwarves! Again, this, like, Peter Dinklage is proof that, like, all that's required to be an actor, you know, is just a little bit of talent and the ability to read a script. That's it. Intelligence is not required at fucking all. It's not dwarfs, it's dwarves. Not literally, but like the dwarves from Middle Earth. All right, they are a separate race from humans. So it's not dwarves, it's not little people, it's dwarves. He's literally proved in his rant that intelligence is not required in the entertainment industry, apparently. At least as far as acting goes. All they need to be able to do is be able to read a script, have at least a modest amount of talent, and smile. That's it. Go away! Anyway. Right? Living in a cave. They're not living in a cave. They have their own abode. They have their own residence. They're not living in a cave. They work in caves. They work in caves because they're miners. They mine for diamonds and other jewels and gems. That's where they work, but they don't. It's like, how is the fuck is this guy this old? All right, he's well past like what should be a midlife crisis age, and he can't even get the fucking fairy tale right. They have a home. They literally let Snow White live with them in their home, and she basically keeps house for them while they work. What the fuck are you doing, man? Have I done nothing to advance the cause from my soapbox? I could say something mean here and say his booster seats, but I'm not going to. I guess I'm not loud enough. No, you're plenty loud enough, Peter Dinklage, because you got 7 actors fired, essentially. You lost 7 actors their roles as the dwarves. The Disney process also came under fire for giving the titular role Ziegler, despite the story being about a traditionally fair German princess. The film, which also stars Wonder Woman star Gal Gadot as the evil stepmother, which makes absolutely no sense, is set to be released in March 2024. And this is the picture, ladies and gentlemen. That's the picture. That's the picture. That's what Disney fans are getting. So there's Rachel Ziegler as Snow White, and that just looks horrible. I'm sorry. Some things just don't translate well to live action. What might look good in animated form does not look good in live action. I'm sorry. Snow White, A Tale of Terror did the wardrobe better. And not trying to disparage that film because it's not necessarily like a big blockbuster or anything, but at the same time, it's like a cheaper made film, all right? Not the budget that Disney has, and it fucking did it better. And there's them walking. It just looks horrible. Like, who's this dickhead supposed to be? On the right, who's this dickhead supposed to be? Him walking. Is he supposed to be the prince? Who the fuck is this asshole supposed to be? It's like he's a... Because that does not look like normal attire. Who is he? The 7 friends walk behind Andrew Burnap, who plays Jonathan, as the movie ditches the character of the prince. The movie ditched the character of the prince. God fucking forbid you have a prince who kisses Snow White, true love's kiss, to wake her up. See you, Teresa. They got rid of the prince. Movie ditches the character of the prince. No prince. No prince. So he's just some dude. He's just some dude named Jonathan. See, that looks good. See, in animated, the coloring looks good. It looks horrible here. Look at that. It looks horrible. Co-written by Barbie's Greta Gerwig, the upcoming adaptation will not feature a Prince Charming and will instead focus on a stronger Snow White who dreams of becoming a leader. Ms. Ziegler previously addressed reports that the film was trying to be politically correct, claiming that the story needed refreshing. Brothers Grimm did it better. I don't mind the Disney animated film, but Brothers Grimm did it much fucking better. Oh my god. Oh my god. That looks so fucking cheap. That looks cheap. It's like they walked into a Goodwill or a Salvation Army or some type of thrift store. Jesus Christ. I want to see if they mention Hornswoggle at all, which doesn't look like they have in this article. But yeah, Hornswoggle came out and he chastised Peter Dinklage. He basically took Peter Dinklage to task, but didn't really matter. Hold on. In December last year, sources close to the production said Snow White's 7 dwarves. Dwarves! Get it fucking right, you assholes! It's not dwarves. They're not. They're not humans. Not even like, you know. Ah. Oh my god! But they're not actually. They're not human. They never fucking were human. They looked human, but they weren't human. They were a different race. Dwarves are a different race. They're not little people. They. But anyway, it looks like they haven't even mentioned Hornswoggle, what Hornswoggle said. But look it up. All right. But this looks so fucking trash. This looks like such trash. Holy shit. Look at that. God damn. It is going to be a dumpster fire, people. This movie is going to be a dumpster fire. This might even end up being worse than the live-action Little Mermaid from Disney. That'll be a fucking feat. And it's being released in cinemas. They're expecting people to pay for this shit. There it is, folks. They're actually paying. They're actually expecting people to pay to see this shit. But anyway, let me catch up on the chat a little bit. Low IQ, yeah. Anthony Hopkins said it best, actors are stupid. Yes, actors are stupid. Intelligence not required, apparently. What about Leprechaun? They're technically dwarves, yes. Now, seven little people couldn't get any work in a Disney film, which maybe would have made them some money because of Peter Dinklage. Because he got up on he put his the soapbox on top of his booster seat so he could like shout to the heavens, and Disney, being the pussies they are, bowed to him and decided to change it from dwarves to, I don't even know what the fuck to call them. They're saying they're magical creatures, but the only magic I see is whatever shrooms they eat. That's what it looks like. It's like whatever magic is going on there is from the shrooms that they eat. Because Jesus Christ, there's dwarves. So she's a Hispanic woman playing a Caucasian woman. Yes, and Gal Gadot is Israeli. So that's my text tone. Is the when the shield regenerates in Halo. That's Master Chief's shield regenerating. So it kind of does sound like a Terminator, but that's it's a Halo text tone. They live in caves until Snow White appears and teaches them about property ownership. Mara needs a booster seat and a straitjacket. Yes, he's one step below playing mini-me at this point. Yeah, I think all dudes would side with the evil queen on this one. She's just looks comparison. Why would Gal Gadot at all be anywhere near jealous of Rachel Ziegler? I'm looking at the two going, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. Yeah, one actual dwarf. Looks like Party City, yeah. He looks like a crew member on Star Trek. Yeah, he's just some dude. Just some dude that Snow White meets. Hell, I think the Asylum films did Snow White better in their knockoff films. Yeah, but I'd have to find them, and I think I've seen them and rewatch them. But I know definitely it's not okay. Snow White Tale of Terror is obviously not a faithful adaptation of the fairy tale. And that's just like me in terms of like, don't go in expecting it to be anything like the Disney animated film. But that movie did it a whole lot fucking better. I believe it. So girl boss Snow White too? Yep. And the fact that Greta Gerwig is attached to this, and the shit that we're getting with the Barbie film that I'm seeing in the like this coming out as far as what the actors and actresses are saying and like rumors, I'm like, this is going to be a shit show. This is going to be a fucking shit show, and I gotta sit through this shit. I'm not paying to sit through it, but I'm gotta sit through it because we're going to be talking about it a week from tomorrow. That fucking Barbie pink nightmare. Yeah, I'll give. Like, Disney gets this. Disney gets this. Where are you?
Golf clap? Golf clap.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's an okay film. It was an okay film. Decent. Like, nothing great, but nothing horrible. It's one of those where it's like, I know I watched it, but I don't remember much about it. But I do know that I've seen it. Why is Hollywood wasting money? Who knows? Who fucking knows? Monty Python and 7 hipster wannabes. Yeah, just like elves aren't human either. Yes. He looks like Red Riding Hood, yes. Gonna make Indiana Jones look better? Yeah. Flash will look better? Yeah. The magic was changing a man to a woman, pretty much. Hello, Charlie. Good to see you. That's why I'm not paying for it. I don't even think I want to give it the time of day. Am I required torture for next week watching a fucking Barbie movie? So, well, actual Snow White, maybe actual Snow White. We'll see. But I've always been more the Disney animated films I've more enjoyed was The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, hell, even Mulan. Yeah. But anyway, so we're just gonna get rid of that shit. So let's talk. We'll talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles article first. That's a bit more recent. So let me bring that up. This shit. So we have the complete antithesis to Splinter's character in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. And I love these ads spounding. I love them. All right. So new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem clip, the shit that's coming from Seth Rogen, maligns Splinter, depicts him as an anti-human bigot. So depicts Splinter, who's supposed to be not only a father figure to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but a role model. One who has no problem with humans. Wise. No, yeah, at least morbidly interesting. I'll give you that. But anyway, so not only are they making April O'Neil ugly, she looks like a, I don't even know what that fucking shape is. It's like they took the shape of Penguin from Batman Returns. And that's like, oh, that's what we're going to go for. And that's what they did to April O'Neil. And now they're maligning Splinter. Or at least that's what's coming out. They're maligning Splinter. I hate these ads. Anyway. So Paramount Pictures released the first clip from Seth Rogen's upcoming Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem film and depicts Master Splinter as an anti-human bigot. Just go away. The clip begins dramatically depicting the turtles gearing up for what appears to be their first mission and then leaping over rooftops. However, it is quickly revealed that their mission is anything but serious. Rather, they have been tasked by Master Splinter to go grocery shopping. Okay. After Michelangelo reads off the grocery list, Leonardo gives out assignments to each of his brothers on what they will get from the list. He then warns, and remember, don't let any humans see you. Because why? All of the turtles then recite an anti-human screed taught to them by Master Splinter. Humans are the demon scum of the earth. Avoid them, don't say hi. They lust to murder that which is different from them. To interact with them is to die. Let me read that again. Humans are the demon scum of the earth. Avoid them. Don't say hi. They lust to murder that which is different from them. To interact with them is to die.
Golf clap? Golf clap.
And let's see if there's another clip that I can play, which sums up my feelings for this.
With all due respect, what the fuck are you talking about?
That is not Splinter. That is not Splinter. Leonardo then admits the screed is prejudiced and proceeds to reveal it was taught to them by Splinter. And hey, I know that's objectively prejudiced, but that's what Dad taught us. The Turtles then share a number of pop culture references about different celebrities they think are cool, such as Tom Brady, Beyonce, and Drake. Leonardo adds, look, we all think humans are cool, but we got a job to do. So now they not only make Splinter come across as an anti-human bigot, but also stupid. Because they're like, yeah, like, it's objectively prejudiced, but, it's what Dad taught us. Yep, they said Drake. This is not how Master Splinter views humans in nearly any depiction of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Going back to the original one-shot comic book issue, Splinter describes his master Hamato Yoshi as beloved. Yes, because do you remember in the first live-action Ninja Turtles movie where Splinter's recounting his when he was like once owned by a human? He was reminiscing. It was sad. He was depressed. Like he lost. Like, yeah, he was a pet essentially, but like, you know, he cared. He was cared for and he cared about his human. So when he lost his human, right? When like his human was killed by the man who becomes Shredder, it was a sad moment for him. Hey Lindsay, good to see you. It was a sad moment for him. Like he wasn't happy. He was now all alone. Like he lost someone he cared about. That's part of the reason why he became a father figure to the Turtles, because of what happened to him. And he didn't hate Hamato Yoshi, yes. But anyway, like he didn't hate his human. He didn't hate any humans except for Shredder. Well, I mean, when I say hate, I mean like, you know, it's like, you know, because of what Shredder did, right? But even then, he didn't hate Shredder. Even then, he didn't hate Shredder because he would have spared Shredder. He would have spared Shredder because that is in Splinter's nature. He would have spared him if Shredder had repented. But Shredder being Shredder obviously wouldn't, pretty much. But like, because like the reason why in the movie, spoiler alert, the reason why Shredder meets his end essentially in the first movie is because Splinter had to let go to catch the knife that Shredder threw at him, and like when he like let go with one hand to catch the knife, it released the grasp that he had with the nunchucks on Shredder's other weapon, which caused Shredder to fall. Otherwise, Splinter wasn't going to kill him. Otherwise, why would he have caught him? He would have spared Shredder. He even describes his master as the greatest shadow warrior of his clan. The book even depicts NYPD officers who arrive after the Turtles have beaten up a number of members of the Purple Dragon as allies. Leonardo says, "We don't like to run from those who could be our allies, but they would not understand us." In the second issue, after Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello rescue April O'Neil from a number of robotic dogs called Mousers, created by Baxter Stockman, Stockman decides to ransom the city of New York for $20 million, or he will topple one of the World Trade Centers. The deadline he set passes, and the building comes crumbling down. Upon seeing this on the television, Splinter sends the Turtles and O'Neil to put a stop to Stockman and end his wanton destruction of New York City. Yeah, in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from the 1990s, Splinter has been captured by Shredder and the Foot Clan. While tied up, Danny Pennington, a recruit of the Foot Clan, comes to speak with him. Splinter tells him, "How can a face so young wear so many burdens? Some say that the path from inner turmoil begins with a friendly ear. My ear is open if you care to use it." He then proceeds to briefly converse with him about the problems he's having with his father, being too engrossed with his work to pay him any attention. It's not something you would do if you legitimately believed humans are demon scum. This was so much fucking better. Kevin Clash as Splinter, voicing Splinter, was so much fucking better. Like, you want to watch like actual Splinter, watch either the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated like cartoon, or I'll throw in the third movie, but like the live action movies from the 90s. Watch those. Watch those. If you're gonna like watch anything versus like reading anything, watch those. I haven't seen the 2003 series, but if that's good, if you're recommending that, Trey, watch that as well, pretty much. But this shit Yeah, because apparently, because you're just like joining Lindsay. Yeah, this is how Splinter is being depicted right here. He's being depicted in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, the shit fest coming from Seth Rogen as an anti-human bigot. And here's what he teaches the turtles to say, in case you missed it. Humans are the demon scum of the earth. Avoid them. Don't say hi. They lust to murder that which is different from them. To interact with them is to die. That is what Splinter teaches the turtles in this dumpster fire. That's what he teaches the turtles in this dumpster fire. That's it. And in the trailer, I do know that like Splinter had a fro of sorts, like like depicting him when he's younger, pretty much. But yeah, this is what they're giving people. Looks like hipster, yes. It's like crap. Isn't the point that Splinter teaches the turtles why helping people is important? Yes. They have to have art imitate their view of life? Yes. Now Splinter's a bigot. So now they made Splinter a bigot. We'll say Splinter's origin, yes. So just like they claim to know the April O'Neil character. They'll claim that shit too. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. But they're maligning his character. Are they going to say Shredder is the source of his human hate? I don't know. But even though, I said he's tried to redeem Shredder multiple times. Again, at the end of the first live-action Turtles film, he, like I said, would have saved Shredder. He wasn't planning on killing him. Otherwise, like, why would he hold him? Keep him from falling. Because as he's holding on to Shredder, essentially, he's trying to instill wisdom in him. He's trying to get Shredder to like see the error of his ways, essentially. He's trying to redeem Shredder, even in that final moment. He's trying to redeem Shredder. And now we get this shit. He's trying to make Shredder, he's trying to get Shredder to wake up. But this is what we're getting. This is what we're getting. I know I've seen the first Meg. I need to go back and rewatch it because I do kind of want to see Meg 2. Yeah. 1990 TMNT movie's the best. Mm-hmm. Fucked up thing is Jackie Chan would be an amazing Splinter if they let him. I'll agree to an extent. I'll agree to an extent with that. The animation looks horrendous, and what they did to April is a crime. Yep. What they did is a crime. Hey, Zach Rock, good to see you. All right, I got one more article. Then I'm gonna try to end on a positive note with the reveal of Godzilla from a new Toho production. But anyway, let's talk Barbie shit. Let's talk Barbie shit. Because this is unironically coming from Simu Liu. Schlong Chi, as Trey put it. Come on, share. All right. So, the Barbie star Simu Liu says film, quote, puts the final nail in the coffin of that very heteronormative idea of what gender is. Like I said, very unironically coming from this asshole. Unironically, unironic, very, very unironic. And heteronormative is a pseudo-intellectual and scientific term, pretty much. There's nothing at all legitimate about that word. Yes. She should be home. Around 12:30. Around 12:30. Well, I thought she texted all. Oh, anyway. Sorry to answer someone. Anyway, heteronormative is a illegitimate term. Nothing. But anyway, so according to Barbie star Simu Liu, the upcoming Greta Gerwig helmed film is worthy of praise for how it both, quote, puts the final nail in the coffin of society's current concepts of gender and addresses the supposed representational imbalances found in kids' toys. I remember growing up and, you know, obviously, like, certain toys are going to be marketed to boys, certain toys are going to be marketed to girls, and the reason why that's the case is because they're going to market certain toys to the demographic who is most likely to buy them, all right? Who's most likely to buy them, pretty much. I'm not saying that there weren't, like, you know, like, there weren't boys that play with dolls or girls that play with, like, boys' toys or anything like that. No, but like most times, whenever they marketed stuff like, say, Nerf guns or Tonka trucks or action figures and so forth, they would market it to boys because boys were the most likely demographic to purchase these or want these. Same thing with certain toys for girls. They would market them towards girls because they were the ones most likely to buy it. There was no gender imbalance or anything like that. There was actually a study conducted. There was actually a study conducted years ago, and when I was in college, we watched footage of this, and basically the study was to see if certain behavior in children was nature or nurture, essentially nature or nurture. Like, would they naturally go for certain toys, or is it a product of being taught by adults what toys they should play with, essentially? So it was a whole nature versus nurture debate. All right, pretty much, and they conducted an experiment. And what they did was they set up a room, put a bunch of different toys in the room, toys like geared towards boys, toys geared towards girls, and so forth, and just let the kids play. They just let the kids go in and let them play. They didn't guide them or anything like that. They just wanted to see what toys they gravitated towards. All right, and guess fucking what? And these were young kids. These were young kids, like, 3-4 years old. So it's not like they had the mental faculties or anything to comprehend anything of gender imbalance or anything like that. These were young kids, 3, 4, 5 years old. All right, so they're basically preschool age. All right. Guess what fucking happened? Spoiler alert: boys gravitated towards the toys that guess what, were marketed towards boys. They had no concept of marketing or advertisements or anything like that, but they went towards the action figures, the trucks, and so forth. They just gravitated naturally towards those toys. Then the girls naturally gravitated towards the dolls and stuff. No concept of commercialism or marketing or anything like that. They just naturally gravitated towards that. And I'm the same as you, Lindsay. I was kind of both. For me, it was like, am I interested in this toy? Yes. Who's it marketed to? Girls or boys, it doesn't fucking matter, pretty much. I played video games and I had Barbie dolls. At one point, all right? I played with, like, Nerf guns and I played with Barbie dolls at one point. It's like, it happens. All right? But they naturally gravitated to the toys that, guess what, were geared towards their demographic. Right? Now, there were a few exceptions here and there. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and pretend otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and pretend otherwise. But that's what they discovered conducting this experiment. That there is inherent nature, inherent wiring in our brains, all right, to be predisposed to certain products, whether it be toys, movies, and so forth. And basically we are predisposed through evolution and things like that, based on chemicals and so forth, to act certain ways, be inclined to take on certain positions in the workforce. There is an element of nature to it. But the left, the far left, does not like to think about that. There are actual biological differences, all right, not just physical, but mental and chemical as well within humans, which creates obvious differences in males and females. But anyway, the Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings actor offered his thoughts on his latest project during the recent interview with Screen Rant's Joe Deckelmeyer. All right, so it's Screen Rant. And this is for you, Trey. This is what the clip that I added. There's a Screen Rant, and this is for you.
Ha! Gay!
All right, so he's talking with Screen Rant. At the start of their interview, Deckelmeyer opened by asking Lou, how was your relationship with Barbie in the past, and did that understanding of Barbie change in the course of making this film? In turn, instead of offering a more human answer, such as, oh, I played with another toy, or just simply and understandably admitting that he didn't want to play with a product marketed explicitly towards girls, Lou offered a diatribe of critical theory jargon. We are in hell. I'm looking at this picture going, I have to sit through this shit. I have to sit through this shit. I didn't really have a relationship with Barbie in the past, replied the virtue signaling addicted actor. I don't know about you, but I grew up in a society where traditional gender norms were pretty heavily enforced and pretty prevalent. And so I think maybe you were taught from a very young age that boys don't play with that, boys don't wear pink. You know, colors become gendered, toys become gendered, or became gendered. There were all these rules that were imposed on us, he continued. So Barbie was always like, oh, that's not my toy. That's on the, what? Oh, that's not my toy. That's on the... What the fuck is he even trying to say? What the fuck is he even trying to say here? So Barbie was always like, oh, that's not my toy. That's on the other toy. What's he trying to say? And I'm so glad that this movie exists because I think it puts the final nail in the coffin of that very heteronormative idea of what gender is and what is or is not gendered. How can you make a color gendered, you know? The only fucking reason color at all is gendered is in hospitals because that's what they do to when babies are born, right? They will wrap boys in blue blankets and wrap girls in like pink blankets so that way when you're looking on the babies, because you have that, you know, section of the maternity ward, we can look in and like wave to the babies and things like that, so you can tell, oh, that's a girl or that's a boy, because you're not going to be able to see the fucking names or tell from the fucking name sometimes if they're a boy or a girl, so they'll gender based on that just to be able to tell, oh, that's a boy, that's a girl, just real fast. They're not saying that, you know, only girl, you know, that's it, and that's primarily the reason why, just to differentiate. That's it. That's all they would fucking do. It's not because like, oh, like, you know, like growing, like, you know, from that point forward, boys can't like pink or girls can't like blue or anything like that. No, it's just I like blue. Blues are my favorite colors. Right? I'm not a fan of pink, But I know when I was born, they wrapped me in a pink blanket, and that was because of the fact that you kind of had to be able to see easily. All right? Oh, that's a girl, that's a boy. You know, when we actually had sane humans living who, like, you know, was understood that there are only two sexes, boy, girl, male, female, man, woman. None of these fucking umpteen million genders. Oh my god. This is just so stupid. Over the course of this movie, I've seen, been around, worn, played with more pink than I ever thought possible, and it was great, Lou further recalled. And it's so great to be free to express yourself in all of the ways you feel like you want to, and not to feel like because something is attributed to a certain gender or a certain idea that you can't also do that. Wear pink. Who the fuck cares? This is my thoughts on this.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Who cares? Wear pink. No one gives a shit. Anyway. Following this answer, Deckelmeyer indulged in his own interests and angled the conversation from Barbie to arguably one of the line's greatest economic rivals, Power Rangers. Pressed by the Screen Rant host on whether or not he could quote any line from Forever Red, the famous crossover episode of Power Rangers Wild Force, which featured the return of several previous Red Rangers, Lou laughed that he could not quite quote any line before starting, "May the power protect us," and using the question as a leaping off point for further discourse. Just say you're effeminate, Simu Lou, and just get it over with. Just say you're effeminate and get it over with. I'm just going to say that. This is the second interview in a row that I referenced Power Rangers because I think we were talking about toys, and I was talking about how I played a lot of Power Rangers when I was a kid, recalled the actor. I was a huge Power Rangers fan, so I had a lot of those toys. Wasn't that sexist, Simu Lou? Like, isn't that gendered? Because most boys watch the Power Rangers, so aren't you contributing to the gendered aspect of this? You know, that's all he had to say, just in the entire interview, is that he never played with Barbie. He was always more into Power Rangers. That's it. So this is like a whole new experience for him. That's all he had to fucking say. We were talking about the representational element of Power Rangers, right? Oh, Jesus Christ. And I was figuring out in real time, like, oh yeah, why Power Rangers appeal to me so much. This guy here is like just giving me an aneurysm, and I gotta sit through this fucking shit. I'm not gonna talk about his entire shit because I'm coming up close to the hour mark, and I want to show the Godzilla image. All right, but Jesus Christ, I am so thankful I'm not paying for this shit because holy fuck. Like, just say you never played with Barbie. That's all you had to fucking say. I never played with Barbie. This is my first experience. Pretty much. I was always into Power Rangers. You know, that's what I would answer. That's what I would like to answer if I ever asked a question like this. So, I play with Barbies. I also play with these toys as well. But anyway. Let me get that shit off my screen. Hey Matt, blue used to be associated with girls until post-Renaissance French culture developed pink for girls and blue for boys. We inherited that from French culture. So yeah, but I'm saying, like, you know, it's like really it's just like just because it's essentially part of culture does not mean, like, you know, we are locked into having to like certain characters because of our sex. Pretty much, like I said, my favorite color is like falls in like the blues. Pretty much, see, falls in the blues. All right, I was never a fan of pink. Even when I was a little girl, I was never really a fan of pink. But there are women out there who absolutely love pink. I don't fucking care. I don't lose sleep at night. I don't lose sleep at night because, like, pink is supposed to be for girls. Who the fuck cares? If a guy wants to wear a pink shirt, wear a pink shirt. I don't fucking care. But anyway, here, I'm not going to really go into this article, but I wanted to show off this image because this has a potential to be awesome. This has a potential to be awesome. Here it is. God damn these ads. Title and monster design for Toho's Secret Godzilla movie revealed in new teaser. Look at that. Look at that. I hate these ads. Look at that. Godzilla is returning to form. Into relevancy, which is why I'm looking forward to the actor strike. Yeah, pretty much. Ideology. Yeah, definitely have my look already. Yeah, ideology everywhere, pretty much. That's badass. Lit. Yep. Look at that image, folks. I want to end on a positive note. I want to end on a little bit of a positive note. So I'm not going to play the. I'm not going to play the teaser, but this looks. Godzilla destroys Tokyo and Godzilla 1.0 2023 Toho. I love these ads. Look at that. Holy crap. I love that. Oh my god. This is why he's king of the monsters. This is why he's king of the monsters. That even looks awesome too. Holy shit. December 1st. December 1st. Written and directed by Takashi Yamazaki. December 1st. Look at this poster. -1. That looks sick. And it follows Shin Godzilla. I have to go back and rewatch Shin Godzilla. But this looks so good. But here, if you find the bounty in the comics article, it does have the teaser. I'm not going to play it, but here's the teaser. Only in theaters December 1st, 2023. So right after Thanksgiving, we get a Godzilla film from Toho. I want to end on a positive note. And that's what we're getting. Hope we get toys. Guess what I would be adding to my throne if we did, Gravy. Guess what I would be adding to my throne. It looks like they might be keeping the bear model for the new Toho Godzilla. The underlying model for MonsterVerse Godzilla is a bear. So yeah, like he's definitely thicker. So yeah. But it looks like it's like they're like returning to form. And Godzilla is supposed to be menacing because for like he started out menacing, like he's a monster, right, and so forth. And then there was like this kind of shift in the films. If you watch any Godzilla films, so there's a shift where Godzilla kind of became an anti-hero of sorts. Not necessarily a friend to humanity, but not necessarily a bad guy either, pretty much. Like there was a shift. And then slowly in the like beginning in the early 2000s, like up until now, like returning to like what Godzilla is actually supposed to be. So any whiny American actors? Not that I see. No, it's a Toho production. I think it's just primarily Japanese. It's like Japanese actors. This new movie takes place in post-war Japan before the original Godzilla movie. I'm going to have to see how that's going to work. Because essentially, in the first Godzilla movie, like, are you talking about the Gojira or the American version a year later? because in both movies they pretty much discovered Godzilla. So it's like if he's before the original Godzilla movie, it doesn't make any sense for them to be surprised in the Gojira. All right, it doesn't make any sense. It could work, but it doesn't quite make any sense to me. Yeah, so before Gojira, but there it is. And Mazza last night was panning this. Mazza has some hot takes. He has some shit takes, but then there's a level of retardation that I cannot even fathom with him. So I know I'm saying there were legends of Godzilla like creature on that island for centuries. There were legends, but when you have this movie set before Gojira, why is it still a legend when it's like literally a reality? That's what I'm saying. This movie makes it literally a reality. So why are they back to thinking it's just a legend in Gojira? It doesn't make any sense timeline wise. It's based on that. That's what I'm saying. It's like they discover he's real in Gojira, but he's real in this one. So why would they be surprised in the subsequent film, essentially in the timeline? Does not make any sense. Unless it's like a different part of the island, and so I'm not saying like, you know, I know you're only dropping what you've heard. I'm just saying I'm just trying to think of this a little bit logically, and it doesn't make sense unless it's on like a completely different part of the island. But normally he destroys Tokyo. It says he's destroying Tokyo, so it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, but there it is. Now I'm not gonna put too much thought into that. I love Godzilla. Godzilla's king of the monsters. Hail Godzilla. I've always loved Godzilla. So Mazda can't comprehend anything prior to his birth. Yeah, pretty much. So see, the thing is, I don't like Godzilla. Doesn't necessarily have to be in the entire movie. He doesn't necessarily have to be in the movie a lot. All right, but as long as you feel his presence, Godzilla in a way, like, you know, like you watch like the older Godzilla movies and things like that, right? You always like he was in the background, but you always felt him there, essentially, kind of like Jaws. All right, you never really saw the shark, but you knew the shark was there. So the same with Godzilla, and what killed it for the 2014 one was like he made like you not only did not feel his presence, but it was like a cameo in his own fucking film. That's it. But anyway, so thank you to everyone. I'm a little bit past the hour mark. I'm going to try to take my dog out before jumping onto Kick. I think I'm just going to play some Uno. Just do a chill stream for about a couple hours because it's been a long week. Haven't really been sleeping well, and I got back to making videos. So in about 20 or so minutes, come check me out on Kick. This is where I'll be, right here. It's kind of like an equivalent to Twitch where I do gaming streams. Yeah. So thank you. Uno is never chill. I know it's never chill, pretty much. But you'll see. I've been playing it. I've been kind of like reacclimating myself with the game. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so thank you all for hanging out with me. Like I said, see you all in about 20 minutes. I'm going to try taking my dog out and getting my voice back a little bit before going live on Kick. So thank you again for hanging out with me, ladies and gentlemen. Hope I didn't make you cringe too much with the pop culture news, but it is what it is. Like, I can't go a week without some cringe to talk about, but I'm trying a new stream next Wednesday tentatively called The Good, the Fun, and the Weird, where we talk about good shit, fun shit, and weird shit. Trying to stay away from the cringe as much as possible during the month because I talk about it enough on my live channel and on Talk Nerdy. So take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I hope to see you all in about 20 minutes on Kick. So take care. And always remember, Mazza is just Mazza, love ya, but God, your takes are retarded sometimes.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.